What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today we are doing a success story. And as I mentioned in previous videos, because I've been working on this book on robotic affirmations, I've been doing a lot more kind of diving into some different techniques, exploring different things for the research of the book and for preparing it for a release. And that led me down some different roads here, but this post here is actually on the Law of Attraction subreddit, which again is a different subreddit. The usual posts that I cover on the channel are from the Neville Goddard subreddit, but there are some phenomenal posts on this subreddit as well. This one is called Manifested for 30 plus days and everything I wrote about came true. So here it is. Manifestation is real, the law is real. April 2023, I began to re-enter the world of intentional manifestation. I had manifested many things in my life, including my current partner, and I did so by 1, writing as if it was current reality, and 2, visualization, adding the senses. So in April 2023, I started a quantum creation challenge, which is essentially the law of attraction, except it was setting time aside in my day to create from the quantum field, where all things are possible. I would take time to write about my reality, my dream scenario. I would make it as detailed as possible, and then afterwards, I would meditate on it with music. It was loosely called Dragon Dreaming. I love this because this is going right along in alignment with the things I'm writing about in the book right now. A lot of people talk about using different methods, such as the 369 method, but when you go and read the success stories, a lot of the people are seeing success by physicalizing their goals, which is to say having some sort of ritual, having some sort of something that anchors that time period in. Like this person said here, meditating on it with music. Music can help you get into another state of consciousness. It can help you basically get into that area of quantum creation like they're talking about and really step into that reality. When you're listening to music that's inspiring, that's relaxing, that really changes the way you feel, and it's able to go in tandem with the scene you're imagining in your mind or with the affirmations that you're giving, or both. Because generally speaking, what you find is that if you're scripting this out, if you're telling a story, or if you're even using which I talk about in the book as well, using something like ChatGPT to write out a scene or story for you that can assist you with this process, you're going to be charging the results up by doing something else that stimulates the senses. It could be also lighting a candle, burning incense, lighting some Palo Santo. But to continue on here, I would write about things that seemed out of reach. For instance, I wrote about living in a new house. This house was a very detailed, hardwood floors, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, in a quiet area surrounded by jungle. I wrote about having a dishwasher and a spare bedroom as a meditation room. I wrote about living in a tropical climate near the beach and rivers. I wrote this all from my tiny one-bedroom apartment in the US. I would meditate and visualize my feet walking across the floor, sipping coffee while I looked out on the vast land out the window. I would feel an elevated emotion in my heart, gratitude for this life I was living, which couldn't have been further from my actual reality. I wrote about working for myself in a different career, having flexibility and time, making millions on different ventures, and utilizing my creativity and talents to help others. I wrote that I was in the best shape of my life and that I was a runner and that I was no longer a massage therapist. I had worked as a massage therapist for 10 years and wanted a career change. I was very consistent and took this practice seriously, writing and meditating for well over 30 days straight. My partner even joined in with me as we called in our future. He told me he wrote about similar experiences living in a home with land in a tropical climate. Little did I know the events that would take place. My partner at the time worked for a company that was involved with the disaster relief. He would be deployed to places that had disasters, and he would set the people affected up with medical care, PPE, and connect them with doctors and life-saving medicine. He loved his job, but was burnt out after COVID and Maui fires, etc. We were both wanting a change. One day, July 4th, 3 months after I began this challenge, my partner came home with exciting news. He was offered a job on the Gold Coast of Australia to work in a different industry. He had dual citizenship, New Zealand passport, and had always wanted to move to Australia. We happily accepted. In the span of the next 3 months, we sold most everything we own. I let go of my business, cars, etc., to move to a country I'd never been to before in search of a new place to live. During this time, I continued to write. I wrote about what it would be like when we landed, making friends, etc. We had a bit of trouble trying to find an apartment and went on countless appointments and applications for units with no luck. Until one day, we went and looked at a house tucked away in the hinterland. The moment I walked in the door, I got emotional. The view was unbelievable. Set in between two rivers, 15 minutes from the beach. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, hardwood floors, in the most quiet, remote area. Literally everything I wrote down, even the dishwasher. The bird song is amazing out here in this subtropical climate. Needless to say, we were elated. It was a big adjustment moving to a new country. I miss my family and friends and a life back home, but I couldn't help but feel and know that I created everything present in my reality. Even in the beginning, when I was unable to work due to visa restrictions, I asked the universe for time and to not be a massage therapist anymore. Once I was able to work and had a visa, I went straight back to massage work. And I think this is because that's the modality of which I earned a living and made my money, but I forgot I didn't want to do it anymore. My soul knew that I was done, but I didn't listen. It wasn't until yesterday that I had the realization that massage therapy as a career and a way of earning money was no longer in vibration with me. That's why I had felt such resistance when trying to get my business started. It didn't flow like it used to, and it was because I was out of harmonic resonance with it. Not to mention my physical body is burnt out and in pain from it. I had to realize that in order to become what I want, I have to let go of my comfort zone and envision another way of being, allowing myself to receive the guidance instead of trying to force something to happen. So all of this to say, everything I wrote about and wanted to come to fruition, even the things I didn't expect, it was all part of it. This is a success story because I became unstuck in my perpetual habits. I had to rewire my brain to accept my new reality. And even now, I'm still learning to do so while I reimagine what I want to do next with career. I ask the universe, God, my angels, to clear a path so I can utilize my creativity to explore, to learn more. Everything I asked for came through, even being in the best shape of my life and becoming a runner. I completely forgot I wrote that until recently when I reread my manifestations. I can confirm I've never been in such great shape, and I am running almost daily. Thank you for the time to read my story. I believe in the law of attraction, and I continue to use it daily to become my highest potential. Wow, so that's a really, really cool success story here. So the top comment says, beautiful, congratulations. It's amazing how much dedication and focus can shift your entire reality. Congratulations on manifesting the life you envisioned. I love reading success stories like these because it motivates me to stay disciplined. I recently appeared for a competitive exam and it didn't go well. I have a chance of failing it. I've been heartbroken since. The exam results will be out 2 months later. Is it really possible to manifest miracles that would change my reality? The OP says, trust in what unfolds. You could manifest retaking it for a possibility of some other path. Best of luck. So somebody asks, I want to ask, does focusing only on one thing you really want, narrowing down because you overlook the other opportunities that may have been good but not what you wanted initially, what you expected? And your dream house was very detailed and specific. However, for me right now, I'm not sure. I never had a full-time job yet as a fresh graduate and wonder if I should visualize having a job first or go straight to working for myself and having business, being rich and healthy, which is a bit unrealistic to happen right now. Like, not sure if I should focus on my priorities or what I want. To be honest, one day I hope I don't need to work one day and have lots of money, but I have to work as of now in present reality. So the OP says, I hear you, and this is something I had to push past. Thinking something as unrealistic was putting it into a category of unavailable, when in reality it's totally possible. Our brains are built on the model of cause and effect, and so we're accustomed to what we have experienced or perceive in our reality. But in the law of manifestation and quantum reality, everything is possible. If you can dream it, you can do it. Albert Einstein has an amazing quote on imagination being our most powerful asset. I recently listened to a talk of someone who managed to manifest $300,000, which seemed outlandish, but then when they thought that people all around the world in so many different walks of life can receive $300,000, so could he. And he did, but it came in installments, 30K here, 100K here, eventually adding to 300,000. I think the law of attraction works best when used with other laws. For example, the law of assumption, assuming you already have it, the law of probability, doing the work toward your desired goal to make the outcome that much more probable. That's what I talk about all the times. In your case, this would be most likely by applying for as many jobs as possible, but visualizing yourself in your dream job or role. And if you don't know what that is yet, imagine how you would feel, what your commute would look like, what you are wearing, what's your schedule like. Release the how, and don't be afraid of dreaming too big. I like those tidbits there. If you don't know what it is yet, imagine how you'd feel. What would your commute look like? What are you wearing? What's your schedule like? Those are things that the mind can then dwell upon and begin to receive answers for when you begin to tap in. Thank you for the advice, but time is still a factor, right? So they're kind of just still questioning this, and somebody else is saying you are clearly in doubt, and that is the worst hurdle for your manifestation to happen. If you believe in your intuition being stronger, who knows? Maybe the company you said isn't hiring could open a spot. Just believe everything's possible if you believe it truly from the bottom of your heart and practice visualization. It will surely happen. There is no time limit to manifestation. If you want many or different things, manifest all that you want, but only. So this person's first language is not English, because there's some weird grammar here going on, but essentially they're saying you receive what you send, and if you send good energy vibrations through your thoughts, it should come back to you. Okay. So somebody asked about quantum creation. Quantum creating, I wrote about above, is essentially applying the law of attraction to create what you want by utilizing the quantum theory of reality, which is, in the quantum field, all possibilities are possible, literally anything. Aligning yourself to the frequency of that which you desire through visualization and an elevated heart emotion to create brain-heart coherence. And this is what they talk about in at the Heart Math Institute. And so I should make a video about that soon. I definitely will soon. I wrote about how I envisioned living as if it was present tense. Some days were different than others when I would elaborate on what my day was, etc., but it was consistent in the sense I wanted to live in a home, in the jungle, tropical climate, freedom, etc. Right on. Okay, last comment I'm going to cover here because I think it's a good response that the OP has here. Can you share more about the journaling? You mentioned writing for 30 days and then 3 months. When you write the stories, do you focus on one topic per day? I want to know more about your strategy. Sure, yeah, it was supposed to be 30 days straight. I completed the 30 days, but I kept going. It was every day for 3 months and then some. I just made it a habit. Some days I spent longer than others, but I would take the time to write every day. I wrote in the present tense, as if I was living that life I wanted to. I'm waking up. So in quotes, I'm waking up to the sound, in parentheses, sense, of birds tasting, and then sense. Coffee, my bare feet hitting the hardwood floors beneath me. And so in parentheses, she's writing the word sense because as she was visualizing this, and as she wrote this and then was visualizing this, she would feel those sensations of the hardwood floors beneath her feet, of tasting the coffee as she is hearing the sounds of the birds singing in the background. I incorporated the senses. Then I would listen to music, usually 528 hertz frequency, and visualize myself doing the things I wrote about. And I would also visualize as I was writing. Exactly. It's very, very powerful to engage these multiple things at once. I would just naturally feel excited, which is what quantum physics teaches, and elevated emotion plays a key role in quantum creating. From the quantum field, all things are possible. You're creating from energy instead of creating from matter. In the quantum, you are not in the Newtonian law of cause and effect. You are causing the effect with your thoughts, intentions, and words. I also felt like after a while, I just assumed it would one day happen. I didn't know how. And then when it did, it moved quick. I hope that answered your questions. They said 30 minutes or so for the average time that her daily visualizations and journaling, that she did the journaling and visualization process. Okay, I said that was the last comment, but there's one last one I want to do. So, one thing which is confusing is saying, I don't chase, I attract. I know that you didn't mention it in your story, but I think manifesting is about keeping up with your dreams and looking at them, or and to look at them or to reread them, trying to live in them in current reality. I would love to get into this, but this saying made me confused about manifestation. Because people are always reminding you that you literally have to look up at your vision board or reread your manifestations. How do you not get too obsessed with your manifestation if the purpose is already having it? The OP writes, I think you just have to let it go and release the attachment. It's out there. It's in your mind. It's written down. The universe conspires in mysterious ways. Allow it to do its magic. Awesome, guys. I love this. I really love the success story. I love how, one thing, if you're familiar with my kind of breakdowns of some of these posts on here, I love it when people actually give the step-by-step process of what they did to manifest the goal and what exactly transpired. And that's what this person has done here. Parsnip extension 3813. I may go and try to see if she has other success stories here as well, because this is what I think, if you wanted to take a model example of what constitutes for a good success story, I think this one does it. It fills all the boxes. She talks about exactly her process of visualizing, of setting these intentions, journaling, scripting, incorporating the senses, even down to the type of music she played in the background while she engaged in this practice. Exactly what she visualized, her feet hitting the hardwood floor, the birds singing in the background, the tropical climate, probably even maybe the humidity or the breeze against her skin. Waking up, knowing that she has an extra meditation room in the house, that the house is between two rivers, that she's living in the jungle, surrounded by nature. I mean, all of this stuff is just a feast for the senses to get into for her visualization in this process. And then on top of that, the things that transpired, her intention of no longer being a massage therapist, having a different source of income, becoming a runner, she goes all in depth with all of this stuff. Then explains how her husband got an opportunity to work on the Gold Coast of Australia. And she tells you step by step exactly what transpired to allow this to happen. And I really, really love this post because of that. Somebody like this would actually be amazing to interview on the channel, because somebody that's willing to go so in depth with their manifestation process, I think that is ultimately what is so valuable for all of us as readers or listeners, is to understand exactly how these things all fell into place. It's great to hear some of the success stories sometimes that just kind of say what happened. It can be inspiring, but to me, this is motivating on a whole nother level, because you can really go in, study the way that she's done her process, and really borrow all the things that you like about what she's done, and really kind of copy and paste her process for what it is that you want. That's been my goal for the book that I'm writing right now, that I've been talking about to you guys. I have actually certain techniques and practices that are similar to this when I outline how to do the 369 method, for example, or other techniques such as the telephone technique, or this interviewing technique, or techniques of inner conversations. I give you guys full examples where you can kind of just plug and play. Take the example, and I talk about how you're utilizing the senses. I'm talking about how you are using your affirmations, how to craft your affirmations, the different various ways you can do them in the form of a question, in the form of a hypnotic phrase. And there are so many different things that all come together as you're engaging with these processes of setting your intentions, of affirming, or of scripting or visualizing. And having them all come together in this way is extremely, extremely powerful. And so with that being said, guys, much love. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Again, the book is going to be releasing soon. If you guys are interested in picking it up early for a discounted price, I'm doing a pre-release that's where the book's going to be half off. All you need to do is just download the free ebook below, click on that link, and you're going to be added to the mailing list, so that as soon as the book is live and available, you're going to get the discount code or the link to purchase it for half off. With that being said, guys, much love as always. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit me with a subscribe, and I look forward to the next post and breakdown that we're going to be doing here.